everybody, welcome to our studio time. This week's project is making a tiny doodle book, and I have a little example right here. We're going to have fun making the doodle book, creating the front and back cover for your doodle book. I even have doodle challenges for you. We'll have doodle challenge number 1, doodle challenge number 2, doodle challenge number 3, and even a surprise doodle challenge number 4. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now I'd like to share with you what tools and materials you'll need to gather in order to make your tiny doodle book. The first thing you're going to need is a piece of white 8.5 by 11 paper. You're also going to need one nice sharp pencil, a pair of scissors, and even one marker or pen, black if you can find it, and make sure it's a fine tip because you're going to be drawing little details. All right, go ahead and press pause, gather up your tools and materials, and then come back and join me. I'll see you in just a little bit. All right, now we're going to get started making our tiny little doodle book. We're going to be able to make this little book really and truly out of one sheet of paper. We're going to be making many folds in the paper. We're going to be making some lines with our pencil, and even just a few nip cuts with our scissors. Are you ready to go? Now we're going to begin folding our paper to create our tiny doodle book. We have a rectangle here. It's a wide horizontal rectangle, and watch how I'm going to change it. We're going to start folding. So I'm holding down the paper with one hand, and with my other hand I'm going to fold it in half. Notice I'm going carefully, trying to line up my corners and edges. I'm going to use that helper hand again to hold the paper down, and with my other hand I'm going to press to crease that fold. All right, now we have a tall vertical rectangle. We're going to change it again. We're going to make another fold. So this time we're going to fold it in half, but away from us. So I'm going to lift it up, and very carefully again, I'm going to line up those edges as best as I can using my helper hand, making sure the paper doesn't move, and then I'm going to press on those creases. Great job, everybody. Now we have a horizontal rectangle again. It's wide, but notice this time it's smaller. Did you notice that? They keep getting smaller and smaller. All right, we're going to change it again. Once again, I've got my helper hand down so it doesn't move, and with my other hand I'm going to fold it in half again, going carefully, lining up those edges. Now if you do need a grown-up to help, that's perfectly fine. Sometimes I help you in the studio as well. So I'm going to press it down, get those edges creased nice and well. Look at this. It's changed again. We do have another rectangle, but you notice what's different? It's smaller. We also have another tall vertical rectangle. So now we have one tall vertical rectangle. Watch what happens when we open it up. So we're going to unfold it. Let's see how many rectangles we get. Do you see them? Let's count together. Are you ready? We have 1, 2 tall vertical rectangles. All right, let's go ahead and open it up again. We're going to unfold it, this time towards you. Here we go. Do you see how many rectangles we have now? You ready to count? All right, let's do it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 tall vertical rectangles. Guess what? We're not done. Let's open it up again and see how many we have. Here we go. I'm opening it up, unfolding it. Can you see how many there are? Are you ready to count? All right, I'm going to use my hand here, my helper hand, so it doesn't move. I'm going to count with this finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's right, 8 tall vertical rectangles. Great job, everybody. Now we're going to make some marks with our pencil. All right, so I want you to find that middle seam where we folded. And we're not going to draw on the paper, but up in the air, we're just going to trace over it until we get to this first section where these lines meet. And we're going to make a dot. Then we're going to lift up our pencil and keep tracing in the air right along that fold. And we're going to stop right here at this last one and make another dot. And now we're going to use our pencil and we're going to make 8 small lines. They're going to become dashes along the fold. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And notice they do not have to be the same size. Now we're going to flip the paper over and do the same thing on the other side. All right, we're going to follow along that middle seam and stop right here and make a dot. Lift up your pencil and follow along again. We're going to pass this one and keep going. And we get to this one, make another dot and lift up your pencil. Do you remember how many lines we're going to make? 8. That's right. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we can put our pencil down. The next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to fold our paper again right here in the middle. So you can just lift it up, press it a little bit, and where you see your dashed lines, you're just going to lift up your paper. Let me put it down here like this so we can see. Now, you're going to pick up your pair of scissors. Some of you may cut with your left hand, others with your right. Remember, here's some things to remember when we're cutting. We want to use our helper hand to hold our piece of paper. We have our elbows up to our bodies and our thumbs are pointing up. And then we're going to very carefully follow along that dashed line and we're going to go nip, 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 nip. We may not all make the same nips, but that's okay. We just go all the way until we get to that dot. Then we could put our scissors down. We won't need them again. So you'll notice we have a little bit of a cut right here in the paper. Remember, if you need help, it's all right to work with a grown-up. It's a big teamwork. All right, now we're going to open up our piece of paper. Looks sort of interesting. It's starting to change again. Now this will take some patience, okay? So if you need to take a break, that's okay. You can just set your paper down and press pause and come on back. All right, here we go. So with our paper like this, we've got the cut in the middle. We're going to very carefully start to push them together. When you're looking at it like this, it almost looks like a tent. It does. Now I'm going to keep going and I'm going to squeeze these together so those pieces come closer together. Let me turn it to the side so you can see that. Okay. Then very carefully I'm going to put my fingers right up at the top and I'm going to lift it up and very carefully fold it over. Now you may notice here, looking from the top, do you notice how it sort of looks like a plus sign? Right now, to me, it kind of looks like a flower. Now, this is where you really might need some teamwork. You might need another pair of hands to come in there and help. I do not have another pair of hands to help me right now, so I'm just going to do this carefully. Notice this piece here is sort of sticking out, so I'm just going to squeeze it together a little bit. I notice this one is sort of sticking out too, so I'm going to squeeze that together. If you have a helper, they can help you do that. And now, very carefully, before we move it, let me show you. So here, I first thought it sort of looked like a flower. I think it looks like a plus like this. And if I turn it, what letter does that remind you of? That's right, an X. it looks like an X. All right, I'm going to bring it back around so it looks like that plus again. And then very carefully, and if you need some helping hands, that's all right, we're going to start to close it. And it's going to make our book. So you can see it here from the top. I'm going to lay it down very carefully. We're just going to go along all of the edges and push them and smooth them. Turn it over. Do the same thing on the other side. And guess what? This is your special tiny book. And for this week, it's going to become your special Tiny Doodle Book. All right, let's double check. Let's see if we have all those pages inside. So we've got the side that'll be for your front and back cover. All right, let's open it up. See if we got the page inside. This will be for your Doodle Challenge number 1. All right, let's see if we've got it. When we open it up, this space will be for your Doodle Challenge number 2. That's right. All right, let's turn it again. And this space will be for your Doodle Challenge number 3. You've got it. And then remember, there's also going to be a Doodle Challenge number 4. And that's going to be a surprise. I'm not going to tell you where that one's going to be, but it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Whew. You worked so hard. It's time to take a break for sure. So I'm going to put my doodle book down. I am so excited. As you know, I often say, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm so excited that I made my next doodle book. And I'm so excited for you. So take a break. You can press pause. And when you're ready, you can come back and join me again. And I'll share with you the next step in our special doodle book project. See you in a little bit. Welcome back. All right, now it's time for us to work on our covers of our book, the front and back covers. We're going to put words as well as, of course, some doodles. Now, I do have an example. I'll share with you an example that I have. All right, I actually have a couple examples. So you might decide to call your book My Doodle Book. It's one idea. So I tried one doodle book that way, calling it My Doodle Book. On another one, I thought, well, I think I'd like to use my name. So I put Ms. Canyon's Doodle Book. And then I made some different doodles. You might decide to add your name as well. It's up to you. So you can decide how you'd like to title your book. And then after you've put your name on it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that on this new one that I have here. I think again, I would like to do Ms. Canyon's Doodle Book. That's how I'd like to call mine. And then I might like to make little swirls. Now it's time to start doodling. And for your front and back cover, I like to call this an anything goes doodle. So you just have fun starting to doodle. Sometimes I come up with a plan, but sometimes, especially with my doodles, I like to just get my pen or my marker ready, and guess what I do? I set it down and I just start going and I let it move. And then I stop when I'm ready to try something different. So then I might decide, oh, I'm going to make a few dots. And then I just keep going. And you're going to keep doing that all the way around. You could perhaps make a border around your title, just like you see here I've done on these two front covers. And then when you're all done making your front cover, of course, you need to turn it over. It's blank right here. Need some doodles. Let's go ahead and flip them over. And you'll see some of the doodles that I made for these books. I used many different kinds of shapes and lines and dots. So once again, it's an anything goes doodle for the back cover. So you decide to start wherever you would like. And I keep you continue to work, please take your time. Remember to take breaks in between, adding any details that you would like to your front and back covers of your Tiny Doodle Book. And I'll see you next time, where I'm going to share with you Doodle Challenge. Do you remember? Number 1. All right, see you next time. Happy doodling! Doodaloo!